Welcome everybody to this social media webinar brought by SMiLE. My name is Tom van Kerschaver. I'm with the Multiple District 112, which is Belgium. I'm also the chairman of the LionsSmile project. This is Stefan Kaufman.
Hello everyone.
He's with the
Konnichiwa, I should say.
he's with the Multiple District 111, which is Germany, and he's the vice chairman of the SMiLE project. But first, let's start with a small introduction of SMiLE. SMiLE is Lions social media for Lions by Lions, which please come in. It's actually social media for Lions by Lions, which means we gather and collect information about Lions using social media, and we share this information. And we share this information on our website and on our social media. We also do webinars together with the LCI and speak at international conventions. But actually, the LionsSmile project is actually a very good example of what Lions can do with social media, because we are a group of, an international group of like-minded Lions who believe that social media can help Lions in their doing good. We do this. We do this by using social media.
Not me.
We do this by using social media. For example, we meet every week using Google Hangouts, which is kind of like Skype, but you can speak with up to 9 people simultaneously. And in this way, using these tools, we manage to do our 4th international convention and prepare these seminars. But this way of working with social media, we can use it for basically any Lions project, be it local or international. But enough about SMiLE. Let's start with the seminar. So, Stefan.
Okay, thanks, Tom. Yeah, again, hi everyone, and it's great that we have such a large audience today, and I'm happy that you made it from the plenary in time. Okay, and here's, I think, the right topic, inspiration and motivation. You might be thinking, why are we still asking the question, why use social media? And you are right, as Tom said, the SMiLE team works now for close to 5 years on doing social media within Lions, helping Lions getting into the using internet and social media for their club public relations. And since that time, the clubs have been doing very well. We saw that in a lot of places. If you go, for example, yourself on Facebook and look for Lions, you see a lot of individual Lions having great personal profiles, so they indicate they are working and doing good for Lions. And you see a lot of people are out there, and this is really great. And you see also there, as you all know, there are a lot of clubs who also are out on Facebook specifically, and I just put a few up there. So probably the one or the other club you might know is already on that list. So I'll give you through a few more. And of course, as you all know, there is also the LCI-Con Facebook page. So Lions are doing very good, and as good this can be. You see here with the South Tucson Lions Club, this club has already over 3,000 likes on Facebook, which is an enormous amount. Just to give you a comparison, my club, so you look it up anyway, we are around about 200 likes. But this is not worse or so. It really depends on the context you work in. But I just want to show you this real great positive example. And even our international presidents and directors, they are also out on Facebook. So Lions is really doing already good. So why this seminar? Why are you here? And basically, the question can be dropped. It's not why are we using social media. So what we talk today about is how do we use it? How can, now that we jumped on this bandwagon, how can we really do good? How can we use the tool set, your website, your social media site? How can we use that at its best? And of course, doing it efficiently, so you can spend also time on your service projects, of course, because that is why you are aligned, right? So this leads to the next chapter, some key success factors which might be relevant to you. And again, here the key message is social media is really a perfect fit for your communication toolbox. Of course, it's not the only one, and we will make this also clear further down the seminar, but it's an important component, and we want to help you to be successful with this. And one of the key things when you are on the internet, you go to a website, you go to a social media site, what is attracting you? Is it the text? Probably in second place, but in first place, it's really when it's the content, so that what you are seeing, it's the image or the pictures you have there. So what you want also with your club is you want to attract people, have sustaining contact with people, you want to be recognized as a Lions Club, and you want to engage other people. So what does this mean for the images you are using? You want to be inspiring, you want also to be entertaining. You remember the lion picture Tom showed you earlier. And of course, you want to be really recognized as a lion. And that is sometimes what gets lost also in the daily business of social media. And we want to help you to pinpoint those kind of things. So it's important you put some thinking about what you put on your website, how you really attract people. And if you look at this great lion, you can leverage such pictures like we did for a campaign from last year, the Lions Club selfie. These help also your club to get a higher reach on your social media site. One way to get to those great images, because you might think, okay, I'm a regular club, nothing special. Of course, you do special and good service, but how do I get those great pictures which attract the people? And one source is the LCI image archives and repositories. And I give you a few examples. So LCI provides a lot of PR and marketing images, as well as photo shootings from ordinary lions from conventions like here in Fukuoka. And I will show you in a minute how you can use those also for your club's business. Or there are other images LCI provides which help you to attract new members, for example. So you do not have to come up with some fancy design on your own. You can just grab some of the nice images LCI provides on their website. And so here we go. I also used in Germany, for example, with one of our national conventions, but you can do the same with your club. So I grabbed some of the pictures of the people, combined it with my own material, and created some Facebook posts to welcome our guests to the convention and to say goodbye. Or like in the last picture here with my fellow lion Winster, to keep up with the agenda and inform people, well, will be a seminar, and post that on Facebook with a nice image, keeping in mind you want to attract people. Another thing is really identity and showing that you are a Lion. You might have recognized when I put out the list of the clubs who are on Facebook, sometimes it's really hard to tell these are Lions clubs. And this is sometimes because the pictures, they are too tiny, bad resolution, something like that. And also here, there are some pre-made pictures or images already clubs are using to show the pride they have with being Lions and with their service. And this fellow Lion here from Wisconsin used that, for example, in his profile. This is an example from my own club. I used the We Serve image to make up a banner image for the website. So this is also something, I'm not the graphics expert, I'm the IT expert probably. So I just came up picking up this We Serve, and voila, here I am and have a very nice banner page. But these were simple examples. I also want to give you a little showcase. My club does, as many other clubs, several fundraising events and fundraising activities. And this year, we did again, since a few years we do that, we do some fundraising concert with professional musicians. And you see the musicians here on the right side. So what I was able to do is to get some pictures from this band. I also created the club logo, which clearly makes visible that A, we are Lions, but also tells about our name. And I combined it to a new image. To create some flyer to hand out for the concert, to do some promotion, I also used another image from the musician, and this is the name of the band. So I came up with another nice image as an alternative for a flyer design, stationery, whatever. And now we come to the social media part. You can also, of course, combine that with the QR code, which leads to the ticket shop of the event, or which leads to the web page or Facebook page you have, which give the people more information about it. So, and I just flip through now. You see several variations, and finally what we ended up even with a special ticket sale. And also there I combined several of those images, and you see also there are other options to create great images for your Facebook page. Well, now that we looked into the positive things, there is one mission I personally care a little bit, I try to work on a little bit, and this is one of the pitfalls I really see very often on Facebook. Still, there are a lot of Lions and Lions clubs and even districts who use an obsolete, completely outdated logo, use it in bad resolution, or it's distorted somewhere. And this is not necessary. There are simple steps you can take to do that. And why is that important? It's important because you are not only a Lion on your own, you are representing your club, and you want to have your club looking bright and shiny and right. And so just go to the LCI webpage where you can pick up all the nice logos, whether you are Leo or Lions, and you can have it in color or in black and white. And also try to keep with the color codes we have, LCI has made up. So this also helps to get immediately, within less than a second, people recognize you are a Lions club and you are the good guys, right? Because there's so much activity going on nowadays, it's really good that we attract people as Lions. Similar now, centennial activities. This is a big thing right now. Every club has such activities, but probably still there are clubs outside who did not know that there are also Centennial logos available for your own stationery, for your own website or your own web page. And I used it for my club again. Sorry to do that in this seminar this year, but we did not have any roll-up banners. You know, these are the things you do not have to put on the wall. They stand with themselves, and so we created a few of those to promote activities when we are outdoors. And so I came up with a design for the print shop, which looks like that, and I put in the Centennial logo, I put in the QR code, which points again to our website. So, and it's that big when it's printed, so it's very easily, you can scan that with your smartphone, and that is really nice. And of course, don't miss to put your website address and your Facebook page. So this is the logo thing. I'm really personally interested that we as Lions really show good corporate identity, because it's really for our benefit. Now it comes to resources in a bit more detail. Another option to do public relation is use some of the LCI channels. We had in our social media lounge an example of a club who does now an activity the 10th year, and they want to celebrate it. So we recommended use some of the channels LCI offers. So there are options you can get on the LCI Facebook page. You can get with your club's activity on the Lions blog, and you can also submit photos from your club project, so you are referenced there. But please keep in mind, LCI does not upfront event promotion, so it's really something to report on what you have done, but I think that's also a great thing. And it gives you a hidden benefit, because when LCI references your club or your Facebook page, it also gets you more audience from inside Lions as well as from the outside, of course. You heard about hashtags, and Tom and I will hand out to each attendee of that seminar, we hand out our new pin from SMiLE. It's an origami hashtag. And you all know, I'm for sure, you have this hashtag sign and then a keyword, and when you use a Lions Club selfie, for example, you get featured with your image on the official LCI website. The same as currently happens with the hashtag LCICon. I talked about images a lot already. Let's get a few, one final remark about images, and then getting to the video stuff. Be careful about where you pick up images. The Kermit image was great. I was really tempted when I saw it on the internet to use it, and I'm pretty sure probably a fellow Lion of us created it. But on the other hand, you know, Kermit is a commercial character, so you never know what are the copyright implications are. So it's better to go with our friend Winston here. Because here we know it's officially provided by LCI, those images, and you're on the safe side. If you use other resources, and the SMiLE blog gives you a lot of information about that. We give also other information about where you can safely download stuff. Now the video, please. You might think video, where should I use that in my club? Really, I mean, this is the fancy stuff LCI is doing, but how is this related to my club? Actually, think about when you do fundraising for disaster relief, or you want to explain what is Lions all about. Do you really want to take the resources up to come up with some great things? Just try to also incorporate some of the LCI video material here. It gives some attraction because video is really fancy and attracts people on Facebook and on websites, and LCI provides a whole bunch of videos for various material. Finally, SMiLE, of course. Who already knows about SMiLE and knows about our website? Please, hands up. Okay, so that's great. It's probably it should be a bit more, but it's good that the others are here. This is currently what our intro page looks like from our website. And you find all the material we provided the last 4 years. It can be downloaded here. We do some artwork, some images as well. For example, we provide a LCI logo, which fits even better for Facebook profiles and stuff like that. And I just did a copy here of the menu items, so you see there are lots of categories where you find information on. I do not go into detail right now. And just want to make sure you can also download, of course, this seminar later on in a few weeks on our website. So it's really worth looking there. Wrapping it up. There is a lot of material already provided, so really, before you do it yourself, look up those resources like LCI and SMiLE, whether we have already something you can use. The benefit is really you help getting identified as Lions easily. You get some guidelines. LCI provides also some PR guides, really a textbook which gives you some ideas. There is some content out there, and we did not cover that in detail, but there is of course infrastructure like eClubhouse and other stuff if you want to do some basic websites. There are PR channels we talked about. And what's also good, when you follow SMiLE and you follow the LCI Facebook pages, you network immediately with other fellow Lions, and if you follow us, you get the latest news. So I really encourage you, please go to our Facebook page, like us, so you are automatically a follower. What do you get? You add quality to your sites, you save some time and effort, you get an extended reach. I'm pretty sure when you use all images and video clip and that kind of stuff. And with what you are doing, and you talk about that in your district or your zone, you also provide yourself then again inspiration and motivation like I try to give to you. And come in, please, don't be shy. There is still some room, and you are ready, just arrived in time for the part now Tom is taking over. So thanks for so far, but don't stay, please stay. So there will be even more nice stuff for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. So now Stefan explained about communication and branding. So now let's get some deeper into technical stuff and some public relation things. So let's talk about your website's domain and vanity URLs. But first of all, keep calm and make a plan. Don't just rush into registering all kinds of social media platforms. Please, make a plan, because first of all, you need to think about reducing the risk of losing admin access. Therefore, you should assign multiple administrators and not use private email addresses. For example, if a member would leave the club and he has admin access, he leaves the club for whatever reason, he uses his private email, and then he needs to give his private password for club stuff, and maybe he uses it for other things. So even if needed, you could create a dedicated club district or a multiple district email, which allows you to just pass the password to the new member in charge, and then everything can continue. Also, use domain name, and this is very important when you talk about your club or you do publications. For example, you could say to people, go to https, don't forget the S, e-clubhouse sites, Lions Bruges Maritime. There are some Belgian friends here. It's easier to say lionsbrugesmaritime.org, go to this website. It also gets you custom email addresses with the domain, for example, club president or donations. Again, it's the same. You just change in the back end the destination of the email, and then every year when the club president changes, he gets the emails that are sent to club president, for example. Also, vanity URLs, what are they? If you create a Facebook page, for example, you get like a very strange link with numbers, etc. So, and whenever you reach 25 followers, you have the ability to ask for a nicer URL. So then you can say to people, go to our Facebook page, Lions Bruges Maritime. Also, when you create a name for a Facebook page or a website, think about, keep your momentum. What I want to say is, for example, you have a congress in 2014, don't include the year in your name of your website, of your Facebook, because next year you want to reuse all the followers, and then you will end up using Lions Congress 2014 and 2015. So choose, for example, Lions Congress, think about that, think about the name. So now, why integration? Well, for one thing, content is king, but distribution is queen. What I want to say is you can have really good information that you share with people. If you don't have readers, then what's the use of putting the time and effort in it? So you have to think about how to distribute your content. And therefore I want to explain first a few things. For example, a website or a blog. If you look at especially a blog website, you can see it as an archive for your club. Think of it as a library with books. And in this library you have an indexing system which allows you to very easily get to the information you want. A blog is a bit similar. Your blog is your library and your articles are books. This means that, for example, if you did something on the environment 2 years ago, you still are able to find this, very easily find this back on your website. So a blog is like a library, is the archive of your club. If you look at Facebook, Facebook is much more now, and see it as glossy magazines. Like after 14 days, you have no interest in the articles, they end up in the toilet and finally in the trash bin. So this has the lifespan of the information is about 2 weeks. And a nice comparison for Twitter, for example, is the yellow post-its. You write something on it, and then somebody reads it and throws it away. The lifespan is very, very short. So what I want to say is, for your social media, you need an audience. And if you have your website and you share this information, for example, using Facebook and Twitter, then you benefit from the both. You have social media to spread the word that you have new content, and your content stays archived on your website. So this is a very good way to use your social media to announce that you have great new content on your website. So So, but how to integrate social media? First of all, for people, for example, people who use eClubhouse, you could just include a link to your Facebook page, or just include at the footer of your email, include a link to your Facebook page. This will get people to your Facebook page and allow them to follow or like you. A bit more technical, a bit not so easy to do on eClubhouse, but easier on blog websites, is use sharing buttons on website content. For example, we are an international organization. You posted something about LCIF doing projects or helping in a disaster, and you write about this on your website. These sharing buttons allow people, visitors, to very easily share this information on their own personal Facebook page, Twitter, or whatever. And so you make it easy for people to share your information, which is very important. If you make it hard or not possible, so nobody will share it. Even on eClubhouse, this is doable. If you're on your page and you copy, this is for every website, you copy the URL at the top of the page and you paste it in Facebook, and Facebook will make a nice post about it. It will take a title, a picture, and 2 lines of text. And what is very important in this system is that you create a backlink. And a backlink is actually, because you posted it from your website, if someone views it on Facebook and they click on it, they get back to your website. Instead of having an enlarged image, which allows Facebook to put advertisements, and this is something we need to benefit. And if you use this system with blog or copying links to the Facebook page and then publish them, you automatically get backlinks. Also, if, for example, I place this on my Facebook page and a friend of me shares it with his friends, what's the purpose of this social media? If this friend clicks on the article, he will be redirected to the website of my club, which is very important. He will not get back to the Facebook page of my friend who shared it. So it's a very different approach, and it's actually a good way to do public relations. So, and in this way you can think about using more channels, because, for example, now many Lions start using Facebook, but possibly you read about that many young people, they leave Facebook and they start using Instagram, for example. And again, we are losing our target group, which is young people, the future of Lions. So we need to find ways to publish in an easy way to other social media channels. And what I just explained about the sharing buttons, if you have the sharing buttons or you use a copy of the link, if you have multiple channels, and even if you don't use Twitter, but you take this link and you place it in Twitter and you click on publish, you're actually using multiple channels, and multiple channels is like advertising on multiple television channels, and it's just a bigger audience. But then I can hear some Lions think, okay, but multiple channels, it's more work. But then again, what we try to do with SMiLE is to look at ways, for example, use auto-posting features. If you use Instagram, which is for many of us fairly new for many Lions, there's an option if you take a picture and you type in some text. Before you publish, you can hit OK, also publish to Facebook and Twitter. So in one click, you post to 3 different channels. Again, a bigger audience. So, and then building about the audience, I spoke about content is king and queen, distribution is queen. So you need to build this audience. This is also something very important. And when you start with social media, it's a good thing not to forget traditional media. For example, in the past, your club probably placed articles or had interviews in newspapers or local television. So keep doing this, but remember, for example, to say or add a line visit our Facebook or visit our website. Also do this on if there's a broadcast on television about your club, an interview, have a footer with your Facebook or your club website, because this will get you an initial amount of followers. Because when you start a Facebook page, for example, a few members of your club will invite people to follow the page, and then about 50, 60, 80 followers, then it will stop. Because what do you do to get more followers? Because this is one way to get more followers. Use this traditional media. Another thing is, if you're administrator of the Facebook page, for example, you have statistics. And these statistics, they actually tell you if it's it has a big reach, if it's shared a lot, and if it's liked a lot. So it tells you what content people like. So have a look at these statistics and then write about what people want to hear. So you get more shares, you get more page visits, you get more page likes. For example, for the fellow Belgian Lions here, Lions Club de Haan in Belgium, what they did, they took the peace poster contest and they took a picture of every drawing they got and they placed it on Facebook. And then they talked to the children, the teachers and their parents. Whoever gets the most likes on the picture gets a prize. And this was additional prize, had nothing to do with the normal competition. If you have a look, they got in, I have to say, this is only in 10 days. They had a reach of 32,000. This means that 32,000 were people got something from this club on their timeline. 61,000 people were engaged, or it was an engagement of 61,000. That means that people clicked on it to read it, or commented, or liked it. And this resulted in 1,057 page views, and eventually in 182 page likes in only 10 days. So I think many clubs don't even get a number like this in 1 year. So I hope that I demystified somewhat the need for the followers. So what you have to remember is that followers is your public. You place great content and your followers are your public. So the seminar is almost done, but it's back to Stefan, who is now at the other side of the room.
Of course, we really love to stay in touch with you and to hear from you, because, I mean, the SMiLE team does all this on a volunteering basis, and so what we get for the work we put in is your response, your feedback, your comments, and finally that we Lions and our Lions clubs really are doing very good on the internet. So don't be shy, get in touch with us, follow us on Facebook, and most importantly now also give us some questions you might have about the content, and I think, Tom, we go with Q&A rather than doing that. So I would like to open the discussion, and when there are questions.
Ryan from Sydney, Australia. Two questions I have. The first question is that you said that you can actually direct people that visit your Facebook back to your website. And that happens automatically, does it?
Yeah.
That's sort of a feature that I don't like when I'm going somewhere, because I'd like to be somewhere, not actually be directed somewhere. So that could actually be a sort of a negative thing.
Yeah, of course you don't want that, but for your club Facebook page, for example, this is great because people, they show an interest in an article they see. Maybe they don't know Lions, for example, and they see an article about Lions doing some environmental stuff or something, and they click on this article and they get directed to your Facebook page of your club. So that is, I think, something you want.
Sure, okay. And the second question sort of stems from that, is that we're having all of these audiences, and nowhere there really does it actually incite somebody to actually, you know, become a member. What is the purpose of all of this? Is it just to share information? Or is it actually to incite people to actually join Lions? And I didn't see any sort of evidence of that.
Well, it's like public relations, so it fits the, you can benefit from it if you have the perspective of the public of Lions is good by doing public relations and having a showcase of all what we do, and it will be easier to get to attract new members. You have a more younger and modern image, but also for fundraisings and attending of your fundraising will be easier, because at that moment people already will know about Lions and what they are doing. So it's a public relation too.
Probably let me add this. So basically what we talk about here is the tool set and ideas how to use them. But in the end, you as a club are in the driver's seat. So if you're more focused on getting known at all, then you would of course try to put up that information. So just to let people know who you are, how many people there are. If you are really into we need new members, of course, I showed you a few images you could use, for example. There are also other clubs who, where it's really important that you show also the donors of your project what you did with the money. So there are various aspects you can really use that, and we show you here, we try to give you some ideas and point out the various tools you could use. In the end, what is your focus? That's the decision of your club. You are in the driver's seat. Yes.
Are your slides going to be posted, or are they going to be on the USB drive or something?
Yeah, we will put them on a. We have a pin for all of you which has our website on it. When we get back from the convention, we will post a PDF of the presentation with the accompanying text. And if you, for example, would like to have the original PowerPoint, we can send it to you.
Yeah, excellent. So we give, so please stay here. We give the pin later after you know, do not run out, and we get also a business card of our team, so you're not lost.
Suppose we have to do international training or international club training or district training. We can go through this and we can train our activities.
Sorry?
Training, international training. Training of activities, training of projects,
Yeah.
training of assistance,
Okay.
training of cooperation.
So the question is, how can you support that? Or,
How can we make out the genuineness of this training programs?
Of course, you can get to know both groups, can get to know each other using social media, for example, just by looking at each other. If you're active on Facebook, etc., you can get to know each other and then start to mail with each other, meet each other at international conventions, and then you have a starting point. Otherwise, if I would like to twin with your club, how would I start this? I would have to come to this convention, pick one line and say, I want to twin with your club. Now you can become friends with each other, see this is a club which is a bit like our club, has the same values, and then you can start contacting each other on social media, start mailing. So.
And sometimes there will be restrictions on finance transfer also because of the government's regulations of the FCI rates. In India we have actually, in other places, I don't know. Restrictions are there for transferring funds or some helping.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
But how to handle that and also.
Yeah, but just one word about it. There was one slide at the very beginning about the Euro-Asia Committee. that is a joint Lions project where Lions from Europe and from Asia put also group together, collaborate on projects they do together. And again, here a Facebook page is used, so it's a good example of not only you can use it for your club or an event you are doing, but also for projects which have a larger extent. We also met a fellow Lion at the lounge who does some environmental projects at the west coast of the US and Canada, so there is multiple use of that. Yeah, then the lady and then the...
I was just wondering what you think about not just putting the link on your own webpage or from your webpage to the Facebook, but on other people's Facebook. Do you think it's spam or is it just...
I personally like it's posting things on timeline lines of friends, something like that.
Yeah, or their organization. Maybe you cooperate with them or you're giving them money.
So I had a slide like, it's not about, I think we have to promote ourselves, not to force ourselves to others, but actually show what we are doing. So people actually say, look at these lines, what they are doing, and automatically say that if we can do this, we are far better off than just forcing messages to other people from, hey, look what we are doing. It's better to have people saying, hey, look what they are doing. So that's how we build relations.
Probably in addendum to that, it's also good to network really with the clubs in your zone, for example. So a lot of these clubs are still starters, so if you network and, like what Tom said, share content of each other, this also helps you to get a start. So, but now,
yeah, because of course when you're doing all this, the idea is to both attract attention, so that people would be interested in what we do and who we are. On the second item, who we are, what's your advice on how do you link if a club starts a web page or a Facebook page? Where do you go to really give some basic information about Lions? Because a lot of people will come to our web page or to the Facebook, don't necessarily know who we are. We know that issue is one which I'm sure is existing in many places. So what's the best way to do that? Go to LCI, link it to your multi-district or district, but then the content of what we are saying about who Lions are and what we do, is there some guidance, to make it simple? Make it not 50 pages that need to go through, but make it really simple. How this is who we are, this is what we do. Come look towards who we are and join us. Simple things to make them real, more social media savvy than they are today, unfortunately.
So you're asking for what to put on this page, to limit them?
Yeah, what exists that you can actually easily link to and say, okay, go here for more information. And where is that? Is that in the national level? Do you do it on national level? What is the sort of cascade that you use?
For me, it's actually you start with your social media, and then you have, it's what I said with content skin and quickness delivery. So you start with social media content, and you have a great website, and nobody is visiting it. So at one point you need these followers. That's my vision on it. So you post something on your website, you have static information or a blog or whatever, and then you need people to tell about it. So one way is, for example, you have great information, you share this on Facebook. But there's a critical point there. At the beginning you don't have any followers or too less, and then that's where the traditional media comes in. You need this traditional media to have this critical mass of followers, that when you start posting, that enough people start to share this. And like with the backlinks, I personally believe that with the backlinks, if you then have site information, someone clicks on something he likes, he doesn't even know about Lions, but he sees this, he goes back to the website, and then you have a sidebar, and then there you can do whatever you want. You can link to your who we are, to the international, to LCIF, whatever.
And probably just an addendum, and then what we did in Germany, like the multi-district provides a few web pages with some static information. What you can also do when your multi-district does not do that, LCI, as you might have recognized, the website is multilingual, so there are at least 6 to 8 languages out there. And LCI also provides a lot of information about the organization, and I mentioned also the video clips. So I would recommend that you put a section on your website also where you at least point to that if the language matches. This gives you the advantage you do not have to update it. If the language does not match, of course, then you have to do one time the translation job, and every once in a while you check whether we are matched the 3 billion Lions members already or so, then you update this, of course.
But
So that is
yeah, and in my opinion, one of the most important things in social media is the content, and getting the content, and that's not always easy. We had a few years ago with the websites, every line needed to have a website, and they all have a website, and if you go back now, there's information about 2009, and we need to take care that this not happening with Facebook. Like for example, social media, I went to certain Facebook pages, last information post was 2012. This is also not a good thing.
okay, the gentleman.
One of the biggest challenges to Lionism is membership growth and retention, generally with the work program. How do we think we can utilize social media with the growing properties of social media? How do we use social media to promote membership growth in our association and retention of membership as well? And which aspects of social media do we think we can use effectively in this regard?
Social media for membership?
To promote membership growth, generally, we seek to grow membership all over the world in Lionism. And with the ongoing popularity and of social media generally, I believe we can utilize social media to engender growth, to promote growth generally. So, but I'm asking, what aspects of social media do you think we can use in this regard? That's my question.
Yeah, I can. So in my eyes, it comes down. One hand is to provide really a consistent image of what. Let's talk about the club. That you are a Lion first. You really should make sure you are recognized as Lions. Then you do not look ugly if you want. I mean, these are simple things, and that really, and then really is something. Make it easy for people to get in touch with you. This might sound simple, but you have seen a lot of times the clubs do not provide an email address because my email address is secret or something. So it's basically common sense in my eyes to achieve the basics, to have people, the entry level to get in touch with you. I'm interested in Lions, so how can I join or so, to make this very low, and therefore look nice, be consistent, get identified as Lions. And these are the things we outlined, and really probably what we did not talk about is make it easy to get in touch with you. And that is the basic step. Patrick, you want to also speak?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm from our international office in Oak Brook, Illinois, and heard some great questions. I'm on the marketing team, so I thought I'd jump in because that question from Australia, question from India, and the gentleman that just asked the question back there, I thought were really great questions because those are challenges that not only you face in your clubs, but we face as well, building awareness for Lions Clubs International. So I want to start with the question from Australia about, is it all noise? Are we just pushing a ton of images out there, pictures, just kind of bragging about who we are? And how do you turn that into someone taking action and saying, look, this is all great, I want to join the club? And that's one of the biggest marketing challenges in general, is how do you convert that kind of, you capture someone's attention and what do you do next? So, a real easy way to do that using social media. So Tom and Stefan showed blog posts as a nice tool, or pictures with a caption under it. If for example, you're doing a fundraising or you have a specific member you want to target, let's say you really want to grow younger members who just graduated from college. If you think about in your community what those folks might be interested in, let's say recent college grads in your community, they're looking for jobs, they're looking for networking opportunities. You can start to post pictures of what you guys are doing, networking, or the connections you make with the community. Let's say you have a project and you show each other interacting with other members of the community. You might be at a business, a local church, or whatnot. And you post those pictures on your social media accounts. The folks who you're interested in attracting are going to see those, and they're going to think to themselves, wow, I'm looking for a job, I want to network, and here's this club that has tons of contacts in the community, and I can see them right here doing this project with all these other leaders in my community. So now you've got their attention not only because they've seen an image, but they actually see an image that's relevant to what they're looking for. And in the caption text under the image, you can write something like, hey, we're making great connections with future community leaders, call ... or email us at ... if you'd like to be a part of this movement. And that way you've kind of in one post gotten their attention with something that might be relevant and also thrown in that email address or contact information. So if they're thinking in that split second that you've got them, hey, these guys look really interesting, here's your email address, and now you've given them a really quick, easy way to get in touch with you. So if you think about making your content and what you post really relevant to the folks you're interested in attracting, that's one really great way to convert those folks, especially if you make it easy, maybe put a form on your website or give out an email address. That way they can quickly see. And with the twinning, moving on because I don't want to go over, so I'll talk kind of fast. I was just talking to someone at headquarters about twinning, and it's such an awesome idea to connect folks around the world. And when we stand at the parade yesterday and see all these clubs from all over the world, I couldn't think of one other organization that's bringing all these people together. And twinning is such a great way to do that. And for those who might not know, twinning is when a club can partner with another club in another community, likely around the world or somewhere not in the same country, to collaborate on projects and support each other with resources and ideas to get things done. There's things on Facebook. You can create a group, which is separate from your Facebook page. And what a Facebook group does is it allows you to create a Facebook page for a specific cause or a project, and they give you tools where you can share files and you can share pictures just related to that project. So if you have two clubs in different countries working on a similar initiative or a project for your twinning, you can create a Facebook page, and that way you can give permission to access it to only the people in that group. And then they can start sharing what they're doing, posting pictures, collaborating, writing agendas and meeting times and things like that. And then they don't have to use email or phone. It's one central place where you can all collaborate. And the benefit of it is, because I know with twinning, the corporate headquarters likes to kind of see a record of what you're doing. That's an easy way where you can just send a link off to corporate headquarters and say, hey, look, this is our Facebook group. You can see what's been going on the past few months because everyone's been doing it on this one group. And then the headquarters can see everything you've been doing. And another benefit of that is, too, it helps our communications team quickly generate stories. So if they see this group of this twinning project, they can create a nice magazine article to help spread the word and things like that. So there's other tools. There's a ton of social tools you can use, like Facebook groups. If you're not interested in a Facebook group, there's fundraising tools and lots of things like that that Tom and Stefan can share with you if you email them. But that's one aspect. And then finally, the gentleman in the back, membership development and growth and retention, huge. I mean, we're the largest service organization in the world, and we want to keep it that way for the next 100 years. So while I could probably stand here for 2 hours and talk about how to leverage social media to grow your member base, one really cool thing you can do, and it's really easy, because you can post as many pictures as you want, and sometimes someone might not see those because they're not looking in the right place, or your picture might not be in the right place. You can actually go hunting yourself and look on Twitter and look on Facebook and other channels for people that you think might be good influencers in your community. Maybe it's a local community chairperson. It could be a business leader, or it could be just someone that you're interested in attracting because they fit your ideal member. You can go on the channels and communicate with them and like their posts or retweet their tweets, and that shows them that you're interested in them, and you're not just trying to say, hey, look at me, come to me, I want you. You're more saying, look, I'm interested in you, I think we make a great fit. So if you go on Twitter and search for certain hashtags or topics that might be of interest to your future members, you can find people that are already talking about that stuff. And you'll notice there's conversations that are going on all the time on Twitter using specific hashtags that might involve hundreds or thousands of people. And you can easily insert yourself into that conversation as well and share your thoughts. And it doesn't always have to be promotional, because sometimes if someone just sees that you have a good idea, they're going to want to be friends with you on those platforms as well. So if you join a Twitter conversation about a cause in your community and you see there's 100 people already talking about that cause and you chime in, likely a few of those people are going to start to follow you because they know that you have a similar interest and they're going to like what you say. So by kind of using social media not just to promote yourself, but also to reach out and search for people with similar interests and engage with those folks, you're kind of building your network, and that's a great way to recruit people, because if you see someone who posted some great idea on Twitter and then you start to talk to them, they probably have 100 people themselves who you can reach out through them, and the more you become friends with all these people around the globe, the easier it is to kind of build that network through social media. So just a few things to add to the great presentation that Stefan and Tom did, but I love questions like that because it shows that there's so much opportunity out there. So these guys have an email address, so feel free to bombard them with questions. If they get overloaded, we'd love to help these guys. So thank you for your time, guys.